Look how huge this camera makes this steering wheel look, and my hand's all huge. Thought that was pretty neat. Okay, so this video is to salespeople, car dealership salespeople, specifically new cars. It kind of a spillover for, pretty much anything, but this is, legitimate dealerships that deal with new cars, cutting edge technology in the automotive industry, and you are selling that to the public. So this is for you guys, whether you be new, you could be in the business for years, doesn't matter. I'm not talking about the past, I'm talking about the future. So here's some pointers from me, my opinion anyway, that I think that you should know. So when you are at the dealership, first of all, and you find yourself complaining a lot or having a negative attitude a lot, then it may not be the job for you. So you just consider your options there. If you're at a dealership and you're not extremely happy to serve each customer, and you find yourself a little bit resentful, maybe whether it be through managers or customers, especially customers, if you're kind of feeling resentful towards customers or a negative opinion towards customers, no matter what the outcome and no matter what the situation, even if it doesn't matter, then you may want to consider like, hey, life's too short, I need to find something that I'm going to be happier in. So I think that's something that's really important. Some people stay into a particular job and they're just not really that happy or whatever. So your heart has to be into it. You really have to be concerned for other people when you're a salesperson. If you happen to be in the business and you happen to do well in the past, sometimes it could have just been some low-hanging fruit and you happen to do really well, certain times in which kind of there's a lot of customers or whatever, you happen to be in the right dealership, and then you kind of think, well, I'm just a badass salesperson, and then all of a sudden now when the low-hanging fruit, there's no low-hanging fruit, you actually have to climb a ladder to the top of the tree, and you're seeing how difficult it is at times. It's no big deal to get out, is what I'm saying. There's lots of other things to do with your life, and, being not happy is not recommended for any job, really. But if you're in a job of customer facing, you're dealing with a customer, somebody pulls on the lot, you're talking to them, positive attitude, this is very important. You stay positive, and because there's you basically want to make sure that the customer knows that you're there to take care of them. I mean, you could just say that, hey, my name is Mike and I'm here to take care of you. If you're new to the business, make sure you tell them, be honest. Don't try to hide that. Say, hey, haven't been in the business very long. I don't know all the details about these vehicles. Maybe it takes a while to know all these features, but I will do whatever it takes to provide you and find out whatever information. Do you have any questions or anything like that? I will do whatever it takes to provide you with the information and make sure that you're taken care of. There's a lot of resources at this dealership, and I will make sure that you're taken care of and you get the information that you need. Don't make up anything. These are all, basic fundamentals, but, I think that these need to be reiterated at times. If you are asked a question, you don't know the answer, don't make up anything. This happens way too much. Don't make up anything. Get out your pen. If you don't have a pen with you, that's an issue. If you don't have a pen with you at all times, unless you're in the shower, then, something's going on there. So make sure you have a pen and something to write on at all times, okay? So you get out your pen, you write down what it is that you don't know, and also you do this in front of a customer. You say, hey, I don't know the answer to that, but I'm going to find out for you, and you keep moving forward, unless there's something that you have to stop and go find the answer right away. You don't want to break up your continuity with your customer, but you want to write it down, make sure the customer sees that you are concerned about their preferences. You want to make sure they're taken care of. But because if you just don't write it down or whatever and just kind of keep going forward, they're going to question, hey, is this guy going to remember what I asked? Maybe I have more than one question. Is he going to remember all the questions that I asked? make sure that you write stuff down in front of the customer, their name. Say, hey, what's your name? My name is Mike. I know it's, here's my card so you can remember my name. I want to make sure that you're taken care of. I want to make sure that your name and your contact information is here, and that I can, have this information that you seek answered correctly. If you're not 100% sure on a particular question, on a feature or whatever the case may be, you could go to the vehicle, say, hey, give the keys to the customer, make sure that you have the key, give it to the customer, and walk towards the vehicle, say, hey, let's go check it out. Maybe we can check it out firsthand. Or if it's, some kind of measurement or whatever that you have to look up, then you can look it up or whatever. But the main thing is that you're committed towards satisfying the customer's needs, because there's a lot of competition. And if you're not satisfying the customer's needs, and sometimes in advance, before they even reach the dealership, if you're dealing with internet leads or any kind of contact, remote contact, whether it be over the phone, internet, whatever, email, whatever the case may be, make sure that you preemptively, like in my case, how I got started making videos is I would make a full detailed video on every car that I could, and that way when a lead came in or somebody was interested in a particular vehicle, I had prepared a video to send to them, especially used vehicles, because that way they can get an idea of the condition. I don't have to wait until I'm asked. Have the information available ahead of time. So I would send it to them while I'm on the phone. I can email it to them, and they'll have it within minutes. And that way they see that I'm prepared for them. I know what they need. I know what they're looking for. A professional, if people are coming in asking you the same questions over and over and over again, you kind of want to make sure that you're prepared for those questions. Of course, if you're the first day on the job, take some time. There's some learning curve there. But you want to be prepared for everything. And you want to be preemptively pushing out value to people. Now, I see a lot of salespeople that are just kind of sitting there on the lot, and I didn't really understand that when I first started the business. I was like, why are these salespeople just standing just standing there, staring at the lot? Of course, you have to watch the lot. When a customer comes, you got to be ready, right? But as far as, there's things you can do while you're out there. You can make cell phone videos, you can take pictures, you can share it. There's a lot of things that you can do to provide value. Focus on the value, is most important, because if you have something valuable online, and chances are it's going to be not only access from people so they can get some value on their side. They want to reciprocate. When people give value to you, then you're like, hey, I'm going to give back, kind of like a little bit reciprocation thing, but also people share it. So if you have something valuable online that you've preemptively put out there and that that people will need, then people can share it because they know, hey, this is valuable, let me send it to my buddy. So basically you want to have a positive attitude. You want to give people valuable information in advance, whatever it happens to be in your particular vehicle or your particular industry or whatever. Value is what you want to focus on. It's kind of like if you want to take pictures of birds in the woods or whatever, you want to go ahead and put out some food, and then that way it attracts the birds, gives them something that they value, and then they go there. And then that way you can take your pictures of them. Just kind of a simple example there. But the same thing with customers. There's a lot of people out there shopping every day, every second. You may be looking at the lot, but the people that show up on the lot, they've done hours and hours of research typically before they walked on your lot. That's whether they admit it or not, they know a lot about what they're looking for, and then before they even get on your lot. So you got to be prepared for all that. And now, if you are giving people information and they know who you are, they know that you are committed to taking care of them no matter what, then that's a huge value proposition over your competition. And your competition is not the other car dealerships necessarily. Your competition is could be their upgrading their house. It could be, they want to repave their driveway, or having whatever. There's other things that people can use their money on besides other vehicles. So you want to make sure that their experience with you at your dealership, you personally, because you're the one talking to them, is as positive as possible when you're around them. Because all it takes is a little nudge. If somebody's on the fence, whether it be, whether they're going to buy it at all, or whether they're going to buy from you, or whether they're going to, spend a lot of time, bounce around offers with other dealerships. Sometimes you just give them that extra service, and they're like, hey, even if there's a few dollars difference in price, they get the service there. Have you ever been to a restaurant where the price may be a little bit more, but you get better service? So that's why you go there. You feel more comfortable. You can buy something cheaper somewhere else. You can go to a fast food restaurant and spend $1 and get something to eat. But there's people don't always do that. They go to a restaurant in which they feel comfortable. They like the atmosphere. The service is good. The wait staff is nice to them. They don't have to clean up after them. I mean, there's a lot of benefits to service. People pay more for service than the actual product. So you're providing a service. You're not just there to, quote, sell them something. A vending machine can, quote, sell something to somebody. You're there to provide a service. The product is kind of secondary, because the product, especially new vehicles, can be bought anywhere, okay? Anywhere. And the people that beat you down on price are looking, for the lower price and bouncing off everybody as far as price and trying to, wait till somebody loses money before they buy something. Those people are buying on price, Now, the reason why is because you're not providing any other value other than lowering the price. If you were to provide such a high value, then they would not be so focused on the price. Because to them, saving money is the value proposition in their mind. So, they will basically waste a lot of your time, and in the end, you lose money anyway, just trying to keep lowering the price. So that's not the position you want to be in. You want to be in a position of high value for your service. The product is secondary. And that's the case with pretty much any sales situation. The product really is secondary, especially new ones, because you can buy them anywhere. Same thing down the street. So you provide the service that what you want when you go to a dealership, or when you go to a store or whatever. When you you wouldn't buy here's something you can kind of mention as an example. You wouldn't buy a parachute based on the lowest price. You want the highest quality. And a vehicle is a safety device, where you're traveling 70 miles an hour on the highway. It's like a parachute in a way, in which you have to rely on it for safety and just not dying or whatever. So when somebody's really focused on price, they really need to understand, it's your responsibility to remind them that a vehicle is a safety device. Of course you could drive back and forth to work in it. And of course, older vehicles are a little bit different. They're just, no airbags, no, whatever. See, back in the day, the vehicles were kind of, they're not the same thing. Now you can actually get some of the vehicles are safer than others. And also, if you go to a high quality dealership that has accountability on their, in their service department, as far as repairing the vehicle properly and stuff like that, taking care of them. A dealership has a certain level of integrity standard that people expect, especially, with new vehicles, high-end brands, making sure things are done right. So you need to live up to that expectation, not only in the service department, but also in the sales department. You want to know everything you possibly can about your product. It is insulting sometimes, and I've gone through this myself, so I'm not, pointing the fingers. It is insulting sometimes when somebody goes to a dealership and you're spending time with you. They're taking time away from their family, and away from their friends, away from their work, whatever their case may be. And they're spending time with you right that second. All the other things they could have been doing, they're not doing. Okay, so they're spending time with you, and you are wasting their time because you are uninformed. They go to you for answers. They go to you as an expert on the product that they're interested in, face to face. Okay, and you are failing them with the information if you don't know it, and you don't find out rapidly. You want to make sure that if you don't know something, and there's a lot of stuff to keep up with. I understand that. And so when you do run into a situation in which they ask you a question and you don't know, then you need to find out quickly and let them know, and give them the source of the information too, to make sure to give them the confidence that you're not just making up crap and selling them something, because I'm guarantee you they'd experienced that before, where somebody just makes something up and tells them, and then they think, well, is this guy telling me the right thing? I'll just do it myself. He doesn't know, he's not confident, and he's not providing a source. So I'll just go and just find the research myself. And as a matter of fact, I'm just going to go somewhere else because this guy has failed me in his integrity as a professional. If you were to go to a doctor, and they have you tell them your symptoms or whatever, and they're like, you know what, I don't know the answer, but, they don't really seem like they know what they're talking about. You're like, I don't even know if I should be here. Maybe I need to find another doctor, Same thing with a salesperson. Salespeople, it's not about sales, really. It's about connecting with people and providing value. So you're providing a value in your service. So these are some things that I just wanted to get this out there that I don't see in a lot of dealerships. Now, there is some really, really good dealerships, really good salespeople, and the dealerships I work with, I mystery shop them before I go there, and I really have to feel good and sleep good at night promoting these dealerships. So there is some really good dealerships out there. I work with some really fantastic ones. But in general, all the mystery shopping I've done, I've ran across a lot of dealerships in which they need to up their standards. So you as a salesperson can up your standards regardless of the dealership. You are a business. You are yourself a business as a salesperson. You connect with the customers. Of course, there's some things that you have to work with the dealership. But as far as the connection with the customer, you want to make sure that, hey, you're right there. Now, if another person in the dealership, let's say the finance manager or whatever, is not doing a great job with connecting with the customer, then you have to pick up the slack, So it's even more on you as an individual salesperson. You just can't pass the buck. You really have to up your game extra if you have some lacking other people in the dealership, because it's your responsibility. So forget about the past. Things in the past worked really well at that time, but this is a future time. This is a future. When you look towards the future is providing so much dang value to people in advance to kind of prove your worth. It's kind of like a resume, or it's kind of like a portfolio. The online content that you have is kind of like a portfolio. If you're kind of like some nobody, then you have no credibility. Somebody who has a lot of online content that somebody can look at, and you're giving them valuable information up front, that shows that you know what they're looking for, and you're giving them what they want because you're a professional and you know what the heck you're doing, So make sure that if somebody searches your name, what pops up? Nothing, or somebody else's, profile, or whatever the case may be. Make sure that you are you're going to look like a professional, somebody knows what the heck they're doing or saying or whatever, when somebody searches your name, especially in the context in which you are interacting with them. So if somebody were to, when I worked at Van Underwood Dodge, if somebody were to type in Mike Derlin, Van Underwood Dodge, then they would have what they saw based on what my relationship with that dealership is how they're going to judge me. So it's anything, you know. I mean, if somebody types your name and all of a sudden mugshots and stuff like that show up, even if it's not even you, if they don't know who you are and they just see a mugshot and they think it might be you, you know, it's very important that you have your stuff out there in a positive way so they can, you know, evaluate you accurately, you know. So you are the person who's talking to the customer. You have to have a positive attitude. If you don't have a positive attitude, then look at other opportunities. Look at other employment opportunities. Basically, it has to be positive and happy. You're happy to see them. It was really. I mean, when I had a customer, I was like so excited about the opportunity to wow those people and make sure that they are just so happy with their experience. I mean, extremely happy. I'm not talking about going the extra mile. I'm talking about going the extra continent. Okay? That's what it's going to take. The more competition that's in the business, there's more new cars, there's so much competition. You really have to get out there and make yourself known to everybody. Okay? So, like on my videos, there's some like salespeople will go on there and they're like, hey, if you're in the, you know, such and such area, let's say it's, you know, like say a Honda or whatever. If you're in such and such area and you're interested in a Honda, and they go on my Honda videos, right? Then contact me. Here's my contact information. And I'm looking at that and I'm clicking on it and I see that their profile is completely empty. They don't even have a picture of themselves. It's like, well, you know what? I'm the one making the video. The dealership has earned a relationship with me based on their positive, you know, based on my evaluation of them anyway. And they are allowing me access to the vehicles, and I'm have the initiative to make the video and put it out for information. So this person is trying to not do anything, just try to take advantage of other people's value and try to put their name in the way of or in the place where the value is, instead of making their own value, you know? So anyways, these are some of my thoughts about being a salesperson and my experience with salespeople, what my experience as a salesperson, my experience as a you know, mystery shopper, going to different dealerships and talking with different people, you know, salespeople and stuff like that. I mean, some people, I mean, there's been dealerships where I walk in the door and literally 30, 45 seconds, I'm walking out because it is that horrible. And I can just imagine, you know, when I was selling cars, I mean, there was people that just had this contempt for salespeople, and it was really, really hard to overcome that. And it's kind of like, it makes you feel bad because you're like, I'm actually want to help you, you know. I am an actual genuine person that wants to help you. And I know you know, this is what I'm thinking. I didn't really mention this, directly tell people this, but I'm thinking, I'm really trying to genuinely help this person. And I know that they just got through with dealing with the most vile people on earth sometimes. I mean, not vile people, that's excessive, but just really, really bad situations. And it's just a horrible situation. So those people, you're just kind of screwing everybody else over. So if you're not happy with your job, if you're not super excited to talk to people, then just find something else to do. There's lots of other things. You'll be happy yourself. You'll be happier yourself, you know? So go the extra continent. Forget about the mile crap. Go the whole extra continent to please the customer, and it will really, really benefit yourself and everybody else. So the manager will love it. You'll love it. You'll make more money. Your customers will be happy. And if there's any kind of, you know, issues. You know how you have issues that maybe paperwork, you have to get something signed or whatever the case may be. They have to go to the service department right after they buy the vehicle. You're going to be in a much better situation if you have a positive relationship with these customers versus, you know, just selling them something in a hurry and moving them on, keep the conveyor belt moving with customers and not really caring and not really giving them the necessary value and connection that they need. You know, customers need that. So anyways, thank you for watching. If you have anything to add, if you have any kind of experience to share, leave it in the comments, because I think I'm going to try to make more videos with suggestions based on my experience in the automotive business and just selling and sales and you know, customer interaction, stuff like that. I'm going to try to make more videos talking about this topic because we're in interesting times, and I think it will benefit some people out there. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.